you saw the ghoul impaled on a pole in the middle of Freeside, would you stop to help him?
Uh, can't say I would.
You can't
I'll
say you
just
would?
I'll just mind my own business, dog. Especially in Fallout, bro. Like, bro, just saw 10 Elvis zombies, like, a town over trying to eat me or whatever they were doing. I
Uh-huh.
he Hey, he'll be alright.
You'd be alright.
Hey, it didn't
You
kill him,
know,
so, he
I feel like there's 2 ways that we would be able to go in the game. Is yeah, like, one, you could feral out,
Mhm.
um, or this could be like, I could easily see a situation where, years pass and he just becomes like the ghoul on the pole,
Yeah.
and people talk to him and it's like, "Oh, ghoul, what is your wisdom?" He's just an institution in Freeside. You're like, "Oh, yeah, 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 he got stuck on a pole, and, we can't take him off because that will kill him." So he's just there, and we just, say, "Oh, hey, what's going on, Mr. Ghoul?"
Just like that scene, from, Joe where just keeps passing by, right, like,
Yeah, yes, like
"Yo, yo."
Angelo. Yeah, yeah. Yo, Angelo. Yeah,
Yo,
that would
and
be, one ghoul. I mean, the problem with it is it's not a solo job to get him off of
yeah,
that pole. I don't know
the
how Imma deal
pole's
with that
already
by
tall.
myself.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
maybe I could I guess I'd like to believe, right? I at
mhm.
least give him his bag. If he was
Yeah,
like, "Hey, man, yeah,
pass
I need this
pass me
bag,"
that
I'd be
bag.
like, "Alright, I'll pass you the bag."
Yeah, that's probably as far as I go, but, like, taking him off the pole.
Yeah, that's like an afternoon, man. Like, you
Yeah,
can already tell.
like
That's not just like a 5-minute thing. You have to get like another guy, and then you're gonna be like, all right, I gotta angle him just right, and
like,
you probably
great,
gotta get some step ladders. Yeah.
right, and then he's spitting up blood, and you just got that new, like sure, and it's the apocalypse, so those don't even come around that often, you
They
know what
don't
I
even
mean?
come there, right? Yeah, I know, I know.
It's it's too much, man.
Well, anyways, this is the episode 6 of our Noob vs. Veteran series covering the Fallout TV show. I am BaitZaDust, the veteran of Fallout. I played a few of the games, and we also have Super O, the noob to the series.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, you know? I I like to think that I'm more, like, intermediate now,
Intermediate.
I'm on the level if you've played all the games, I think I'm on, like, at least that level now. Yeah.
Watch out! Watch
We're
out!
really
They're gonna call you a dirty tourist. So
like
Taurus is like the insult. Taurus is like the number one insult now. For anybody who is like who thinks the show is good, is just like, oh, you're a Taurus. You're a Taurus. You're new.
damn.
Blah, blah, blah. It's like I what okay, man. If you say so. If you say so.
It's all you. But
I'm
I'm just saying
sorry.
my hobby is not your it's not your costume, like, alright, bro.
It's like you can be a Taurus. Like you can be like me. Who's been playing these games since 2008, right? So that is 18 years. Okay?
Mhm.
18 years of my life I've been playing these games. And yet, and yet I didn't play Fallout 1 or 2. So me, I'm still a tourist. I'm still just passing by.
Oh, yeah, you're this guy's a veteran? He didn't even play the
Yeah, I
first
know.
2!
I was not alive, or I was like 3 when the game came out in the 90s, but sure, whatever, man. It just is what it is. That being said, we can get into like our review of the episode. I will say I'm not a blind glazer of this television show because this episode I had a few problems with. I would say. I think overall I like it. It's building a lot of things, but I think it's doing a little too much. It's trying
Mhm.
to get little too many things going at the same time, and I think the episode overall suffers for it, in my opinion. But
Okay.
that being said, what did you think about this episode?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I don't think there's been a weak, episode this season yet. Uh, but this one was pretty interesting. We got to see more of, like, Hank's, like, mastermind, plan, and how he's doing the most evil thing a villain could do, giving people jobs. Uh, but yeah, no, I like the Hank storyline. I feel like weirdly enough, we didn't get a whole lot outside of like Cooper's backstory. Yeah, I guess that was really the main focus, just Cooper's backstory with mainly his wife, and then uh Lucy and her
Mhm.
seeing what her dad's up to, and also we got a bit more of the votes of what's going on in the vote.
Yeah, yeah, and that's my I think that's my issue with this episode, is I have 2 issues to this episode, right?
Mhm.
The first one is I think it's doing a little too much. This episode could have been really great if it focused exclusively on Cooper and Lucy.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot better, because, I guess we get a little bit of, stuff going on with Maximus and Thaddeus, but that's just to say, "Oh, they're moving in a direction," and
Yeah.
it helps bring them into the plot. And I gotta say that Vault 30 to 33 stuff is starting to wear a little thin.
Is
It's
it
starting it was cute at first. It was cute at first, but now I'm just like,
there's other things to focus on?
there's other
There's
things
other
to focus on, and you're wasting, like, precious minutes in the show. Because like, unlike other streaming shows, right, which vary per time, Fallout has a pretty set time on how many minutes per episode. It's like 45, right?
yeah, yeah.
And you're wasting in my opinion, you're right, you're wasting, like, 5 minutes, to do a music sequence and to do others, and that's not really what I'm concerned about right now,
Mhm.
especially when you're trying to build this other stuff, and you had really great moments from Cooper, really great moments from Lucy, some good Hank stuff, but we're kinda wasting time,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. No, I feel you.
and
I like the side story with, what's going back at the vote.
mhm,
It's just but it's more so, like, I like it for the humorous aspect of it. It's the
yeah.
most, like, least, like, serious, "Oh, I wanna have my incest club, and, we need the snacks." That's
Yeah, and
but
my second big complaint with this
Mhm.
episode, it feels like a video game, but in the bad way.
Explain.
Um, and what I mean by that is it feels like we're going from point to point without like a lot of explanation for how. And I'm not a person who says, "Oh, well, you got to show every step of the way for me to believe." But these people are like fast traveling in this episode. They're like fast traveling like crazy. Okay, people are getting from point to point like they've never gone from point to point before, which just gives them a go, huh? How did you get here? Right when Maximus and Thaddeus are like in a desert and you see these giant dunes, and then it cuts to them, and then they're just like at a like some shop. I'm like, huh? How did the dog get there?
Yeah,
How did the dog get there and also get them back to
Cooper.
Cooper and whatnot? How did Hank get all these people? There's just a
Well,
lot of
yeah, the Hank I mean, I assume that with the Hank stuff, he started with, the first guy, which was the,
yeah,
quack doctor, and then he
yeah,
that quack doctor just slowly brought more, and where people like he probably was like, "Hey, check this thing out," and they checked this thing out, and boom.
boom, yeah,
Uh, but yeah, no, with Thaddeus, I mean, I with Thaddeus and Maximus, I kind of thought of it as like, they just kind of like traveled that distance off screen. You know what I mean? Like because they were just dipping for a long time. It's not like they could just, rest up with their Brotherhood of
yeah,
Metal, Brotherhood of
steel,
Steel, uh, going down in fire. So they had to like get away. And like I don't think it's too crazy. It's more like coincidental that Darren does around the same area
yeah.
than, Cooper, but, I thought that was, because the lines had to diverge eventually because we have, like, a lot of plot lines
I
this season.
and I get that. I do. I just wish they were set up a little bit better. And I feel like they could have been set up a little better if you took away some of the time that we spent on nonsense. That's my
Mm.
this is my thing about this episode. Like, I think overall, I mean, we can break it down, like, more substantial. Like, my first take on this episode is some really solid stuff, but some of like the um in between things, the
Mhm,
connecting pieces are just a little bit more rushed and a little bit more sloppy
mhm.
in a way that, I think the show has avoided doing so far because we're trying to build up to the big end game thing. And it's like, well, we got to get everybody here somehow. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, nah, I think nah, I see what you mean, I see what you mean, because there are, like, a lot of, like, plot stories, this season, like, we have all the stuff with Lucy and with Lucy and at first Lucy and Cooper, and then now Lucy and Hank, and now we got Cooper's backstory, which is its own thing, and then we have the what's going on inside the vault, and then we have inside the vault, we have, Eye Patch, I forgot her name, uh,
Steph, yeah.
Stephanie's whole thing, and then we have, Norm's thing. So there's like 5 or 6 different, like, plot lines going on at
Yeah.
once, and, like, some get touched upon in some episodes, some don't. There's only so much you can do in, like, a 45. Uh
All right. So we can talk about a little more in depth. Um, this episode starts in the past with Barb as a, Vaultec employee, and she's going over all the different bits, and some of the most soulless people are walking in to be like, "Hey, what if we did this, or what if we did that?" Or a person being like, the mushroom cloud in the advertisement. I know it's supposed to be like multiple. We suspect it's gonna be multiple, but 5 megaton blasts. But I think one 10 megaton blast would look better for the advertisement. Like it's just
I
like we don't even care. It's not even registering to us like that. This is like the end of humanity and
Mhm.
civilization. Um, you have a guy that's like, "Oh yeah, the water chips." This has a 30% failure rate, which is insane. And just be like, "Yep, maybe, but hey, maybe we don't look at this as a as a bad thing, but we can look at this as we can decide which vaults get water and which ones won't, which is crazy." I guess this is another thing that I guess sets up Fallout 1, because in Fallout 1, the main crux of everything starting in like which causes a ripple effect that, influences Fallout 2 and 3 and New Vegas and onward is in Fallout 1, the Vault Dweller is from Vault 13, and the entire reason he leaves the vault is because the water chip broke, right?
Mhm,
The water chip broke, and the elder or the overseer in the vault, it's like, "Hey, we need to send somebody out to, fix it." And then as the game goes on, you run into all the craziness in the wasteland afterwards. So we do have that. Um, then we have Robert House's body double, who people have affectionately called Bobby Apartment. Um,
Bobby Apartment.
yeah,
That's
Bobby
fun.
Apartments is he's doing his intro where he's like, "I have the automated man, right? I have this new system in place." And Hank's there. And Hank's like, interesting. Mind control.
Mind if I
Um,
do?
and he's selling them their product, but he's also saying like, "I'm not. Listen, I'm not giving this away. This is I'm selling it to you because I want cold fusion."
Mhm,
Because for him, it's like if I get cold fusion, I can just live forever, and also I can power New Vegas, and also I can have everything I need, to control, both in New Vegas now and also in the wasteland, after the bombs drop. Um, so I kind of like where this is going, right? I think it gives you space for why things are the way they are and why it didn't happen, right?
mhm,
House is not a person to put all his eggs in one basket.
yeah,
So there's definitely a case where, yeah, he wanted to do cold fusion, but he couldn't. So he had to do something else, right? He never got it. Um, Kind of like how House wanted to get the platinum chip before the war, but it got disturbed. So he was never able to get that. And that's what sets in motion New Vegas. He just wasn't able to. achieve that, so he had to pivot to something else. Um, and it also explains why Hank knows about the brain, the automated man, and the, control chips, and why he thinks that's going to be his ticket out. It is interesting that this appears to be a defective product, though, that, House is selling to Vault-Tec, but, what can you do?
Hey, they can't all be perfect, you know? I mean
Can not all be perfect.
I mean,
I
don't all
wanna
products come with, like, not guaranteed to work warning at the
not
back?
guaranteed to work, yeah. You just think somebody at Vault-Tec go check before they, sign that check over. Um And Barb is also, I guess in her head, she's like, "I'm doing this for my family. It's all for the kids, it's all for little Janie."
Mhm,
Which is insane. It is insane. Um, because we get another flashback. I just wanna continue on this whole flashback plot line first before we go to the main episode. Where, Cooper's like, "Hey, I know about the plans. I know about the meeting. I think you're a monster and evil and, all this stuff."
mhm.
And
Really, dude?
Barb yeah, and Barb's a little bit she's hurt by it, but a little bit it's like, "But I'm doing it for my family," right? It's like, "Wouldn't you also kill millions of people for your daughter? For our daughter?" I'm like,
Mhm.
Coop doesn't know the answer. And, I don't have a kid. I don't. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd kill millions of people for my kid. Um,
Hey, man, that's her daughter. That's their daughter, you know what I mean? And to be
there's
honest, the Coop I think Coop would. He's just not put in that
I
position.
mean I mean, in a way, hasn't he already killed a
Yeah,
bunch of
he's
people?
yeah, like, what's a million more? Like, hey, it's
But,
different when it's your own flesh and blood, you know? Especially if they're young, bruh.
I don't
Especially if they're
know.
still a kid.
In my head, there is a number, but it's not that high.
I might kill, like, 2 people, and that's if I'm, like, feeling generous enough, like
You know, it's just not that high. But, so Coop's like, "Well, I'm gonna do my own thing." And this is another one of the things where I feel like we're getting into the fast travel of it all,
Mhm,
of, like, Coop, which is weird because I thought it implied that Coop got drunk last episode, right?
mhm,
Which was at night, and he passed out, and he woke up the next day with Barbara, right?
mhm,
But
mhm,
then he immediately leaves their room to go to the bar to get Hank drunk and then bring him back to his room. It also appears to be at night. So I guess maybe they're there for a couple of days, and you just have to say that,
yeah.
well, Hank went back. I don't know, but this kind of feels like if you were in the video game, Hank is an NPC that would be at the bar at all times. So you can just go back there and, do your quest bit. So he goes back and he gets him drunk and he takes him to the room and he opens up the briefcase that he thinks has cold fusion, but instead it has the injector because cold fusion is actually embedded in his neck, kind of like it was with Dr. Wilzig in
Mhm,
season 1. So he has to figure out how to, get that, and Barb pulls it out, and now it's a question is, well, what are they gonna do now that they have um cold fusion? And you know, it's who knows. Barbara, in explaining, more of her backstory and why she's doing what she's doing, she says, well, it's not just me. I didn't say all those things because I wanted to. I said all those things because I was threatened to, because there's another player at the table, and it is the Enclave.
yes.
Um,
Mr. Zero People
and
those.
the Enclave are coming. The Enclave, like I said, they're a big deal. Um, you know, they're still going despite their many failures. They're still kicking.
They're kicking.
Um, we find out Dr. Wilzig from season 1 was actually alive before the war.
Mhm,
Um, and was the one that was sent to threaten her and to be like, "Hey, it is what it is, but you gotta carry this through, which is, I think, interesting, but at the same time, how many of these people are from before the war?
Yeah, like, we saw some. I mean, we saw past Barb. We saw. Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
right now we have people confirmed to have survived the war. We have Moldaver, we have Coop, we have Wilzig, we have, I guess, House, um, we have Hank. Well, we have all the managers from Default
Yeah, yeah.
31, and like a couple other characters. So like, yep, we're all from before the war, and like cryostasis used to not be that good in Fallout lore.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
cryostasis was a little iffy. But I guess it's not that iffy. I guess it just works perfectly. Because in Fallout 4, right, in the Commonwealth, that
Mhm.
vault that you're in is the I guess the test is cryostasis. The entire point of it is to test cryostasis' effect on the human body. And some of the people around you don't make it, right? Some of the pods don't make it. But I guess over here,
Hey,
no,
some do.
it's perfect.
Hey, they got the science down in this in these
In this
votes.
one.
Yeah,
Um, so I guess, everyone made it. All these characters will return to have big reveals. But it's cool. Get a nice game from Dr. Wilsig, and the whole Enclave plotline tickers on.
yeah,
Um, I am curious how that connects to the now. Right. Like what could possibly the Enclave be doing? Because they lost Cold Fusion, so what could they be doing, now, especially after all their losses, but
yeah. We probably won't
we shall
see it.
see.
We probably. I mean, they'll probably like appear at the end of the season with how it's feeling.
Mm,
Uh, because we got the not the orc, the FEV mutant, the
yeah.
super mutant,
Yes.
talking about how there's like a war coming. Uh, so like I'm thinking this season is supposed to be, or how the season's gonna end. It's gonna be the start of them having to be like, okay, the enclave is here. And everyone kind of has to fight against them for their own personal reasons. Maybe for Cooper, it's like about his daughter and finding his family, and for Lucy, it's about I don't know, bringing Hank to justice or bringing some form of justice. And then Maximus is all about finding his own sense of self. But the Enclave is going to be set up as like the big bad for next season.
Yeah. 'Cause it'd be very weird for them to show up as a big faction now.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
very weird because 'cause I'm like, "Who?" You know? And also that would cause confusion for the audience too, because they also wear power armor, so you'd have a bunch of guys in power armor show up, and you'd be like, "Oh, is that Brotherhood of Steel?" No, that's the
Nah.
other that's the other group of evil people in power armor. They're
I can't.
ideologically different, but
What do you guys think about ghouls? I mean, they're alright, I guess.
also don't
Okay,
like
yeah.
ghouls.
Oh, they also don't
No.
like.
Yeah,
Okay.
they also don't
Well,
like ghouls.
they don't sound that different. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, the difference is, right, where you could say the Brotherhood of Steel may not like certain groups. The
Mhm.
Enclave hates everybody.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
They hate everybody
were
equally.
were you born like were you not born in a vault, or were you not born like in like an Enclave facility? Yeah, you're kind of like a subhuman mutant. So it's time to go. That's the Enclave's policy.
Yeah, just get rid of them all.
Get rid of them all. Yeah. So
Uh,
that is, I think, the flashback, where we find all this information about the Enclave and Barb, and we get a little cameo, I think, from Betty, young
Betty.
Betty,
Yeah, I got the names mixed up.
and we see her as like an in-office, like worker assistant for Barb, yeah, at
Mhm,
Tech. But then we move on to the present, and we have the Ghoul, who's in a little bit of a predicament.
mhm.
He is stuck on that pole, and he is trying to climb, and dog meat he's trying to get Dog Meat to give him the vials, and Dog Meat doesn't. Dog Meat takes his hat instead. He's getting very upset, but he's
Just
also
trolling
at
him.
risk at going feral. Because it's been a while since, like, I guess he got some medication, and he is like starting to like feral out in between. I think it's a good effect. Like I like the bit where he's trying to stay sane
Mhm.
and trying to like when he goes to his things like my name is Cooper Howard. I have a daughter named
Yeah.
Janie and she is alive. That's what I think one of the best moments in the episode for sure. Because you can feel that. You can feel it. It's well acted. When he like tries to muster his strength, and when he like that's a bit where he's like, "My daughter's alive," and he grabs the pole, and he's trying to like yank himself up.
Mhm.
Like all that stuff's great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, but um, it is in between that. I think we just get cut with other nonsense. When
That's
I feel like this could have been just a really good Koopa episode, personally.
that's fair. That's fair. No, I really like the stuff going on with Coop. It was really funny seeing Dog Meat kind of just troll him, and like everyone just kind of ignoring him as he's dying on this pole. It was an amusing watch. But yeah, when that one super mutant finally came and did, break the pole and rescued him and injected him with, well, not injected, but like he gave him uranium.
Yeah, you put a rock in his stomach? I don't know.
Yeah. uh that was cool. That was cool because I had one of those. Oh, that's that super mutant he was talking
Yeah.
about. Well,
Okay,
now that we've
so
seen that, do you still think that Thaddeus will become one?
Thaddeus? I think Thaddeus will become something. He's certainly will become something. I don't think Thaddeus is a ghoul. I still don't think he's a ghoul. I think he's gonna become something. I don't know what, but
Mm,
definitely something.
okay.
Um, that being said, I would say my other I think uh kind of like quibble with this is something that is a season 1 thing that we're still dealing with, and that is the fact that the ghoul has to take medication to not go feral. It
Mhm.
kind of annoys me because that is something that's brand new invented for the television show. It's
Oh,
not a game
really?
thing. No.
Okay. I mean, are there any conscious I mean, there has to be, right? There are conscious schools inside,
Yeah.
games, right? And they
Yeah,
don't mention
tons of them.
anything about, like, taking, like, supplements or
No.
anything to prevent going feral?
No. And there's actually tons of ghouls who have been stuck in all kinds of predicaments, right? For hundreds, like, for 100, 200 years and have not gone feral, right?
Mm,
Um, so the medicine thing is like a show invention, and this is one of the issue. And I think it creates drama for sure.
mhm,
It creates drama and tension, but in the game, ghoul getting becoming feral is more like a state of mind, uh, kind of thing, right?
mhm,
If you're exposed to a lot of rage, I mean, some people might go feral right away, but if you're exposed to rage and become a ghoul, it's a thing that is, like I said, it is more about your mindset. If you have something to do and live for and like aspirations, then you can just keep going. Maybe not ideal, but you can just keep going. Like there's old ghouls like Raoul from New Vegas, or um, I cannot remember, but
mm.
you're gonna trust my word on this one. Um, there is a old there's definitely like old like pre-war ghouls, right? There's Hancock, there's Raoul. Like in Fallout 4, there's a few different people. You'll find like Chinese ghouls who were like soldiers from the war, right? That were there's a few of them like that were in a submarine that were outside of Boston, when the nukes went down. Um, and they're still kicking 200 years later. So it really it's really like a state of mind kind of thing where
Gotta lock in.
you gotta lock in. So I think the bit of him like saying like his name and doing stuff and locking in is good because that is how you avoid going feral. But it's not like you have to dose up on your medicine or oh that's it.
Okay.
and you know, eh, I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
In this case, it's like, it's a show invention. I guess it adds tension in this scene, but it is definitely a deviation from the games.
Okay. Nah, I can see how that could be like uh annoying. Personally, I don't. As someone who has no knowledge of that from the games, I think it works pretty well. Because to me, ghoul just feels like it feels like. Granted, I know like the side effects are you have a bunch of radiation. Uh,
You say it feels
and
like a cheat?
you're freakish. Yeah, it feels like you got like a superpower. You know what I mean? You're an immortal. You're an immortal being. You're pretty much like top one in diverse compared to like other races or
Uh-huh.
other people. So it's a good checks and balance type of thing that kind of like hold you back.
Well, okay. Well, the biggest checks and balance is your skin. Your skin is gone. You have no nose, and you're discriminated against by everybody. That's like
I mean, that's
that's
not
a
that.
pretty big check and balance. And it's not like you're stronger or faster or anything. You just
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
live.
You yeah, I mean, but you're immortal though. You know what I mean? That's a pretty they get all not all the features are winners,
I'm
but
just saying, there's a
there's some
lot of
things.
shows of like fantasy racism where you go like, I don't know, this has no real disadvantages. Like you kind of got all the things, and you're like, oh, but it's just so hard. It's so hard being me. And it's like, yeah, but you're like super strong and fast, and you're sexy and whatever. But this is like, you're just a guy. You're still just a guy, and you got no nose, skin, and you look like a zombie.
Fair, fair. But comparatively to everyone else in the apocalypse, you know what I mean?
Comparatively, the radiation thing isn't I think a good trade off too. That's a pretty good buff for sure.
Mhm.
Being immune to radiation, or as
Yeah,
you see with Cooper, you can be healed by the
the
radiation,
radiation. Yeah.
and that leads to I guess our run-in with the super mutant. He does not have a name. We do not know who the super mutant is, but I know who plays him, and it took me a second because I had a moment like, that is that? No, that can't be. And it's Ron Perlman, uh, who you probably recognize from some stuff. He's been some
Oh,
Grimm,
him,
and yeah,
yeah. He
yeah,
was in
Ron
Monster Hunter
Perlman.
movie. That's like his most notable role, right?
Yeah. You know what? You know what?
He
You're
was
right. He was in Monster Hunter.
Oh, he's a Monster Hunter guy.
You're
It's
you're right.
and
Von Perlman is the Monster Hunter guy. That's just, yeah, yeah, from Monster Hunter. Um, he voices the intro to I think like a bunch of the Fallout games. Um,
Mm.
he
Oh.
did the intro for Fallout 1. I think famously he was like, they paid me like $40 in a sandwich to do to do the intro for Fallout 1. Because all the Fallout games have a pretty cool intro where they describe like the world and society and the bombs and how everything fell. And it always ends with a line of like war. War never changes. And that was done by Ron Perlman.
Oh.
And he did it for Fallout 1, 2, 3. I assume he got paid more than 40 bucks in a sandwich as time went on. But here he is in the TV show playing a super mutant.
Yeah.
So
It's a good
I
makeup,
think,
at least
yeah,
from that shot.
the makeup and the effects, because they use a lot of practical effects on the show too, is very good. I think it fits well the super mutant, especially an intelligent one. And he takes him to his like church bit, and gives him the uranium. Now, putting the uranium directly into the stomach is a new thing. Okay,
Uh,
I don't know the thing about that. I feel like that can have other effects that may not be good. For one Mr. Cooper.
oh, maybe
Um,
it gives him super strength? He becomes a super ghoul?
no, yes. There are ghouls called the glowing ones, right?
Mhm.
And they glow like green, right? They
Oh,
glow like a bright. They're like, you're kind of almost translucent, and they glow a bright green, and they can like basically do like mini radiation explosions from out
Mhm.
of them. Like they basically just generate radiation, like always. And they can do like radiation explosions and whatnot, and they're like an enemy type. So I hope that I hope he's not becoming a glowing one. I don't know. This is a real rinky dink process that the Super Mutant has given him. And he does mention the fact that, I don't know if he directly mentioned, he says they're both made by they both come from the Enclave, which I guess is true in the roundabout path. But I wouldn't say the Enclave are directly responsible for super mutants. Um I think the Enclave helped pioneer FEV. The super mutants themselves are a creation of the Master, um, who is one of an early super mutant where he was I think it was a guy, I think like a vault dweller who fell into a vat of FEV and got mutated. Um, and he is like a powerful psychic FEV kind of monster man that is fused to this supercomputer. And it's a really nuts, kind of presentation because he it's basically like a human face, right?
Mhm.
With all this other stuff kind of melted onto a supercomputer with appendages coming off of it. It's very creepy. And he wanted to create a super race of perfect people. Almost it almost reminds me of the plotline of Sinners of where Remick is we'll all be equal
Yeah,
and
well, one.
free, for vampires, right? He's like, we'll all be equal and free if we're super mutants. So he's kidnapping people and basically is like, yep, you'll be the new race and they'll take over the wasteland, but there'll be no divisions anymore because you'll be all underneath the master. But then you can beat him with facts and logic, and then he blows himself up. Um, so and there is kind of a religious element to that too. So maybe that's why that super mutant is in a church.
Yeah.
This is another example. I know I brought this up several episodes ago, but nobody uses their big boy words, and everyone keeps things relatively vague for the audience. Where they're where he says something but not really, right? He's like, we're both the result of the Enclave, and he's like, and the Cooper's like, no, I was bitten. I mean, we were bitten by two very different bugs. Then Superman will say something, and he'll be like, there's a war coming. But I won't describe anything else about the war. But the
There's no
war is
time.
coming with the Enclave. Whatever. It's like, hey, you guys can talk. You guys can
There's no
have a
time.
conversation. Yeah, there's no time.
There's no time.
And
But I
the
feel you.
Superman kind of shows up to he shows up to save Cooper and Aura Farm, then he leaves. That's that's all he really does. Shows up, says a couple of vague words, looks cool, and he's like, I'm bye now.
Yeah, he kind of
And
showed up for the fans.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And I'm
yeah,
like, I like to see it, but I
it
wish
could
there
have
was a little
been.
bit more.
It could have been infused a lot better. I
And
feel you.
just talk, please. For the love of God, Cooper, talk to someone. Stop skipping the dialogue options.
Hey, dog, I'm trying to speed run this.
That's every time Cooper has a conversation, every time somebody's about to drop lore in Cooper's like, hey. Just skips through all the dialogue options.
Hey,
That
dog,
bartender last episode that's like, hey, do you want to hear the lore about the NCR and the Legion after the nope. Nope, exit.
Let's get to the cutscene already. I want to
Yes,
get out
the
of this.
cutscene. Right. I'm like, bro, please, Cooper, just talk to somebody for once.
My life is more Call of Duty than a visual novel. That's all I can.
Basically. So Cooper's like, I'm not gonna join you. And I don't blame Cooper because the super is extremely vague about what joining him means. He's like, there's a war coming and we'll need you for reasons. Enclave's involved. Hmm?
Mm.
And Cooper's like, I don't know, bro. He's like, well, I guess you're not on my side. Bonk.
He's like, "Can I get a bit more detail?"
No.
Oh,
So then the Superman, I guess, takes uh, fast travels Cooper to a different zone. There's a lot of fast traveling happening this episode. So they fast travel Cooper to a different zone. And I guess we could do the Maximus plot line real quick.
yeah, 'cause it just goes, like, right to it, so
Because Maximus and Thaddeus are traveling the desert. There's so much desert, dog. I cannot stress how much desert they show.
hey,
How wide and vast this desert is, and
they
they just get
travel.
over it.
Hey, when you're running away, yeah, and you have, like, nowhere else to go, bro, you're gonna eventually hit some vegetation and
Oh,
civilization.
yeah, I famously, traveling through you can just walk through a desert easily to get to
Yeah,
your location, famously.
yeah, just keep going straight. You're
Just keep
gonna hit
going
something
straight,
eventually.
yeah.
You're gonna hit something eventually.
So,
I wish it
um,
didn't, I mean, I understand why they did, but, I wish it didn't, ditch the armor.
well, if you see from the previews, maybe Maximus is gonna get a new armor pretty soon.
An upgrade, you say?
But, um, yeah, so, Thaddeus is like, "Hey, we should sell it." I don't know to who. I don't know who's in the market for buying Cold Fusion. And he's like, "We can sell it and be rich," and Maximus is like, "No, we should do the right thing." And they have, I guess, a little bit of a, ethical argument with that. It's just like, well, the reason why Lucy can be so good is because she was born with prosperity, and she didn't have to, come up in the mud.
Yeah.
And, Maximus also was born in an environment that taught him good things.
Um,
Um, in Shady Sands, he had relative prosperity there. So he was able to retain that morality. But Thaddeus said he comes from the Boneyard, which is in LA, the nuked out part of LA from the original Fallout games. And he's like, nah, it was different. It was different in the Boneyard. You couldn't do all that nice, all the okie dokie stuff wasn't gonna fly.
right.
Um,
You don't come from around my hood.
which is, I get it. It's just true. It's just true. And they rest for a minute, but then Dogmeat finds them.
Yeah.
I don't know how, what he does, but she does. Dogmeat locates them, and it also gets them connected to Cooper. And Cooper has that like, oh boy, oh boy, it's Maximus again.
Here we go again.
But it's good
But
to have them all together. I think
yeah,
it'll be a fun group.
yeah, the lines are kinda converged, and, now that they're back together, they're gonna I don't know if Cooper is still gonna, I mean, they're clearly gonna go after I feel like they clearly have to go after, like, Lucy at this point. Maximus is gonna
Well, he
wanna go
wants his daughter. Like he didn't get his half of the bargain yet, right?
yeah, true, true, so you probably follow him just for that and
Hmm.
end up paying because of that, but it's gonna be
It just
interesting.
happens. Yeah, they're all in the same place.
Yeah. Yes, all the plot lines are starting to converge little by little.
I guess before we get to Lucy plotline, we can talk about the Vault 33 plotline. Yeah. Um, where they're doing the products of inbreeding support group. There is a fun there's a fun gag where they're turning people away because they're not inbred enough.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
have that you have that one couple that are clearly like brother and sister that are like making out and like, all right, you can come in.
Yeah, that was yeah, I'm very amused at that plot point. I'm entertained a lot by and it seems like it's finally kinda coming to a point where, uh, not Barb, where Betty kinda has to be like, "Okay, I have to actually put my foot down here and be like, 'Yo, we're running out of food and water, and you're wasting all this for your group.'" And maybe I'm misremembering or may but were did they always have, like, a militia or cop force? in
Yes.
the votes? Okay.
Every vault does have a security force like that.
Okay. I was like, whatever. Like, where did these guys come from? But yeah, no, I thought it was a very fun episode. A fun episode, fun part.
Okay, so this is my I of all people, am not one to say no to a musical sequence.
Mhm.
You know how much I love musicals.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
That Uranium Fever thing was so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary for everything. Like, I get the bit where he's playing, like, I don't know, like, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something, and but in his head, it's Uranium Fever, but,
Yeah.
like, that is the most, like, indulgent thing I've seen from this show of, like, "Oh, we could just do this." And it's like, "Man, we took, like, 3 minutes, like, from this show. Precious time that could have been used to develop any other plot line. So then we could do a musical segment where they play Uranium Fever and everyone dances around the table. Like, we didn't need it. We
That's
we
fair.
we just we just
Y
didn't we just didn't need it. And I'm sick of Reggie, actually. I'm sick of this whole plot line. I thought the plot line was to come to an end immediately. When Betty showed up, I was like, "Oh, and this is a part where Reggie gets his skull cracked." Right? But I guess we're not doing that yet. I guess Reggie still has a part to play, and we have to, do the tensions, and Reggie's gonna try to do a coup or something.
Yeah, I think it is leading to that. It's leading because it does feel like at first it felt like a plot line that didn't, uh this is just something that, that the vote is doing. We probably won't have as we probably won't have any more focus on it as much. But as we've seen it throughout the season, I think it is leading up to something uh big for the series. It's probably not gonna converge with whatever Lucy and the other gang is doing because they're too far from them. But it could what I could see it happening is that because of the lack of like food and water, maybe the current vault dwellers will venture out into the Fallout wasteland with Reggie as their captain.
Yeah, either that or they could try to, like, I don't know, go to the other side of the world, the
Yeah, there's also that. Yeah.
32.
Uh,
And then we get, like, what, we get the Chet, plot line, where Chet is, like, he's asking about, Woody, and they're like, "Oh, what happened what happened to Woody? He's missing." And, I think Woody is dead. I think Woody's quite dead.
why am I
Um,
forgetting the chip?
Chet Steph's,
Oh
boyfriend,
yeah,
husband,
yeah. The one
who
who's
was
getting married.
press ganged, yeah, into doing
Yeah.
this. Um, yeah, so Woody's gone.
Mhm.
Um, unlike Betty, Steph does know how to run her vault. Um,
Yeah. Unfortunate.
ruthless efficiency.
Yeah.
Um,
And fist. Eh.
I think now this plot line is more interesting to me. Of like everyone would be like, "Oh, congratulations, Chet!" Like, you're getting married tomorrow. And Chet's like, "Huh?" And just Chet the entire time just being like, he's just sitting around like, "Huh?" As just things happen to him.
What do you mean?
I don't know what Steph's planning. I don't know why Steph, is like, "Oh, I have to get married and I'm gonna do this." And I don't know what Steph's master plan is here, but
Uh, what I feel like it might be is just like him. It might just be just something she just wants to do,
mhm.
or she can do just cause maybe it just looks better for her. uh, but yeah, it's just something that because she doesn't really care that much about her own kid,
No.
or about like Chet. So I'm guessing it's just more so like an image thing.
Yeah. Now I'll say, if we're still sticking to plan of them like poisoning the water, or giving FEV to people in the vaults, there is not a better super mutant candidate than Chet. Okay, that's a fantastic super mutant specimen if I ever seen one.
Just look at that unit.
Yeah, look at that
you're,
unibrow.
you're what 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, just dunk him in already. Um, So that's Sap one. So we get back to the Lucy one, where Lucy wakes up and she is in the I guess the vault wherever
Mhm,
Hank is. Um and everything's set up, very nicely because he's trying to sneak around and like see what's happening.
mhm.
Um only to find, I believe, like what she like turns a corner when she wakes up. Oops, sorry.
You're
She turns a corner and she's trying to escape, and she sees two Legion members
Mhm.
walking down the hall, and she's like, right, and she wants to attack them, but then they're like, "Hey, what's
How
going
you doing?
on?"
What's good, Lucy? Anyway, have a nice day.
Yeah, I will say, as watching Pluribus, this does give some
Plur
Pluribus vibes,
Yeah.
major Pluribus vibes of them like all in sync in the office doing their thing. All of
Eh,
that, niceness.
yeah, the hive mind is the hive mind works in mysterious ways, man. Uh,
It really does.
but yeah, Hank just turned a bunch of these people into 9 to 5 workers. I, for one, can't be more sick. Like, I'm like, now this monster. He's
I
hot.
know. Yeah, because he goes in, and all these people who were once, killers or murderers or whatever, are now all in like their business shirts or their slacks, working on their stuff, and they're all like in sync, like working, like making the little mind control chips and like passing them down and whatnot, and they're all happy and
Yeah.
joyous. Um, and then Hank is like, "Hey, you know, this is like, he wants to live life like it was, basically."
Mhm.
And he's like, "I set up this room, we can have dinner, we can all be happy." And he doesn't want to talk about other stuff. He just wants to be like, "Oh yeah, what about that book you read? Remember we were reading All Quiet on the Western Front?" Um, and she says, well, he's like, "Well, I never finished the book." And she was like, "Well, I found it upsetting because All Quiet on the Western Front is about World War I, I think from the perspective of a German soldier. And
Mhm.
it's kind of about how pointless the war was, right?
Mhm.
How we're all kind of fighting over nothing."
Yeah.
And, you know, and he's like, "Well, it's kind of the surface, isn't it? Everyone's just fighting over nothing, right? They're fighting over bottle caps, or they're fighting over, this patch of land. And it's all kind of pointless, right? What if we gave them something, better?" And Lucy, like, at this point takes him hostage, and he's chill with it. He's chill with it. And he's like, "All right, hey, let's walk on down. Like, everyone relax. It's all cool. It's all good." And Lucy's still like, "You're gonna answer for your crimes," which I'm like, "What, Lucy? Come
I mean,
you,
she
you,
what else do you think she could do, you know? She's
I know that is what she would do. I'm not saying it's out of character, but I am still saying, come on, girl, you're gonna bring him to Vault Tech? You're gonna bring him back to the vault to go on trial? All right, girl.
and that's the
Sure.
whole reason why she's out here, you know what I mean? She
It
wants
is.
she wants to bring her father to justice, and, so, she set out to on this way to, like, capture him and bring him back so he can face real justice. How she expects to get him there, I don't know, I don't know. I don't think she thought that far ahead,
How
but
she
she
expects to try him?
no, just to get to the vote.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
it's I mean, obviously, you go walk on foot, but it's like, that's a long way there, and I don't think she has, like, a map or anything. It's but, hey, I see why she what was going on in her mind.
and then we have, more stuff, and but then Lucy gets to see it for herself, right? She gets to see them working secrecy. She gets to see that like these were torturers, murderers, cannibals, but now they all are, you know, workers.
Yeah,
And she's
kind
like,
of workers.
"Well, yeah, I'll let you, I'll do whatever, but you gotta set these people free. Like you're free to go." And they're like, "We don't want to leave.
This is great.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we like it here."
There was a line Hank said about one of the Legion members he turned that I I wanted to get your take on it. Uh,
Mhm.
so one of the Legion members, he said Hank was pretty much alluding to her being like, "Oh yeah, this one, yeah, she used to cook people for the Legion." And I was just
Mhm.
wondering, does is he just saying that she just burned people, or was she actually like,
The legionnaires don't typically engage in cannibalism.
okay,
No,
okay,
that's
so
that's
the car,
not that's not a thing. Um, I guess hypothetically, if I had come up with a lore explanation, I would say Caesar's legion, like, what's the word, incorporated a lot of tribes
mhm,
into itself. So hypothetically, there could be a tribe or an offshoot that does do cannibalism, but
mhm.
that's not a legion thing. Legion do a lot, but I would not call cannibalism standard operating procedure for the legion.
I just curious. I was curious. I was just like, wait a minute. Are they
No.
cannibals?
But then again, this is also the legion
Yeah,
15
like,
years later that
yeah.
are on, whatever it is. Who knows? Who
Uh,
knows what Caesars they have? I would say Chinese Caesar definitely would not do cannibalism. Okay, I have faith that Chinese Caesar is morally upright.
but so now that Hank kind of showed Lucy like what he's has going on with the whole brainwashing of these Fallout residents or whatnot. Do you think Hank's in the wrong right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
I mean, these are I mean, bruh, he did show like two legionnaires, unmind controlled. He's like, yeah, yeah, you could just dip out, and he immediately started like fighting.
oh, the Legionnaire and NCR guy, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that is true. Um, but that's not like a good reason to be like, yes, and no free will for you. This is very much the part of this conversation that we will have. That we're gonna have very soon, actually. Um, but it's like, yes, you eliminate the friction from humanity, but you also take away what makes you human, right? Um, and the other thing about Hank is, and the other thing about all this is, yes, he did give these people this peace or whatever, but it's all under him, right?
Mhm,
He's the guy on top. It's also the same conversation about like Remick with the vampires, like in Sinners, right?
mhm.
Where yeah, there's peace and equality, but it's under Remick, you
True,
know.
true.
And you can say, "Oh yeah, we're all equal and we're all doing this and we're all hanging out," which is like, yeah, kind of, but not really. Like you have those elements, but what makes you you is gone, and it's all for one guy
Mhm.
ultimately. So
But
I'm sorry, I can't endorse Hank.
but this world isn't perfect. It's
And
it's
the
all
other thing, what gets me about Hank, right? And this is why I will always you always have to think about this when you think about consider Hank, right?
Mhm,
Is there was a world in a group of people that were out in the wasteland living good lives that were honest and
yeah,
clean and happy. In fact, they were more like his vision of your stereotypical 50s thing, where the people were happy, they had food, they had literally just fixed like a water problem. Like everything was great in Shady Sands. But it wasn't his. So he
yeah,
got rid of it.
he nuked it. Yeah, true,
Yeah.
true.
So it's just one of those things where, like, no matter what he does, he's, "Oh, I'm building peace." It's hollow because
I don't
someone was already making it, but you didn't like it because
you
it wasn't
you
your
weren't on
thing.
top.
You weren't on top, so you got rid of it. Um, so it can never be like a real, you know, thing.
Mhm, that's fair, that's fair. S so I guess, you wouldn't be one of the people signing up to know what true unity is like,
I guess not.
uh too bad we're gonna take it anyway.
I'm not even okay, I'll say this. I'm not even against the it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm not even against the idea of a hive mind on principle, okay?
On
I'm
principle.
not. On principle, okay? If that's the thing I can, like, jack into, right? Like, if at the end of a day, I can, like, put the cord in my back and we're all in the hive mind and sharing our memories and we're all, unified, cool, right? Or if I go through my day and I can tap in to all the people, I don't even mind that. But it's the, "Oh, you have no personality," right? It's when the hive mind is we're all the same person. We're all just the same guy. That's it.
Yeah,
That's more of an
yeah,
issue.
yeah. No, I
I
feel you.
think
I feel you.
a hive mind could be a communal thing. It could be a great place for a community, but it should not be to erase that community. This might we need ethical hive minds. Yes. I am a proponent of ethical hive minds.
I mean, hey, some if I mean, so far Hank is doing it on, you know, criminals and murderers and killers and whatnot. But yeah, I could see where the just kind of plot lines kind of leading into. Honestly, I don't expect it. I mean, 'cause I'm trying to think what could be the real big end climax of this season. Because like Hank could get like taken down pretty easy. I feel like Cooper, shows up. It's
He's
just kind
very
of like what's
touchable.
going on. Yeah, yeah, he's very touchable right now. So I don't know. Maybe he's gonna get his hands on like a super mutant or what they call it, a death claw, and
Mhm.
put a mind control thing on it, and then he'd be like, I got like 3 of these under my command. Uh,
Yeah, that's I don't know what the end game is 'cause it doesn't feel like there is a big villain yet. Where the
yeah.
Enclave feels like a problem, but that does feel like a season 3 problem. And
Mhm.
I mean, I guess the Legion hasn't shown back up yet. Even though they should show up because I know from the initial trailers that I've seen, there's more Legion stuff later on. But I just don't know how they're gonna factor in. I don't know how, like, the NCR is gonna factor in. I don't know how, um, all these other groups are going to factor in. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's actually it may not be, like, a big battle like
Mhm.
last season was, but I'm just not sure how it's all shaping up.
Yeah, yeah. It's still gonna be an interesting watch. I'm so curious to see. Gonna see Hank's master plan. Form in action.
And then I guess during the credits, if you pay attention to the credit sequence, we see a bit about Bud Askins pre-war. You see Bud Askins' pre-war office, and
Mhm.
he is just a huge nerd. Um, he has like a bunch of there's a comic book line in the Fall universe called Grognak the Barbarian, which
Mhm.
is very like a Conan the Barbarian thing. He has like a ton of comic books and posters for Cooper Howard movies, um, all that stuff. So you see some of the Vaultic offices. Bud Askins would have loved Reddit, R.I.P. But I says a little bit extra stuff, nothing too crazy in terms of lore or implications. But I would say overall, it's not a bad episode, right? I'd probably give it like maybe like a 7, or 6.5 out of
so,
10.
so around a 6, 7.
7, you're right. I was yes, around a 6, 7. Um, and um, but it's just like it's doing a little too much. Now I think the doing a little too much is going to be in service of some really great episodes coming up, right? I think
Mhm.
now that have all the stuff in place, we can just kind of fly with it. And now that the plot lines are converging, then it's just gonna go. But, you know, sometimes these transition episodes get a little dicey.
Yeah, yeah. But it's gonna be cool. I'm can't wait to see more of Cooper backstory. And I want to see more of Norm's. We left it in a pretty interesting spot that I was hoping they would pick up on this episode, but
Yeah, we
uh,
need more Norm for sure.
yeah, the votees in the wild are a very amusing plot line, bro. I feel like we could devote more time to that.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah,
If you enjoyed this episode, why don't and you have not subscribed, how much hit that subscribe button? It'd be fun. It'd be a fun little thing. Worst case scenario is you get a bunch of videos that you don't watch. But hey, it'll make me feel better. It'll make feel better.
it
Okay.
would make me feel better very much.
um and hit some likes, comment, all that jazz, and we will hit you with some more follow content. And we also, I think next week or this week, we should have a Pluribus episode out. If you want to review another television show, and we should have a Wonder Man episode out next week as well. So lots of TV, lots of television. But
Yeah.
hope y'all had a great time, and we will catch y'all soon.
All right. See y'all. Thanks for coming through. Bye.
Okay, got it. No, there's no change in the plan. Bye.